there, welcome back to the channel, Loving Life on Less. Are you worried about money? I think most of us are. 2023 and onwards, we are looking at more price rises, inflation going up, and more difficult economic times. Your ability to fend off these difficult economic times, or even improve your financial health if you're already in debt or severe debt, come from your capability of handling the basics. Good money management is based on 95% of very basic and simple principles. There's nothing new, there's nothing surprising, there's nothing shocking. But if you manage to control all of these basics, you will control your money and you'll feel a lot more comfortable and a lot happier, even during personal, national, or international economic downturns. Here we have 7 frugal living, money saving, basic tips that will keep you financially sound. They are your basics, your strongest foundations, your biggest bricks in your financial building. Those small, regular habits that you do every month that may seem a bit mundane, they may not seem exciting, there may not be some new wonder invention or some tip you've never heard of before, but they are proven to work. They've worked historically and they work now. They are timeless. Number 1, you must have a budget. And the very simple thing about budgets is your incoming must be greater than your outgoing. Even if it's just by 1 penny, 1 cent at the end of each month, you will be able to get by. Never before has budgeting been so important, as prices seem to be fluctuating on a weekly basis. So once a month, it's really important you sit down, or you sit down with your partner if you have a partner, whoever runs the money within the house, and you both sit there, or you sit with yourself and you make a budget that applies to that month. Work out what you have coming in, work out the necessary bills that need to come out of your money, and then anything that's left is for your flexible bills. Food, leisure, sundries, household items, toiletries, beauty, haircuts. All these are flexible and must be fitted into your budget. Obviously, the most important is food, but with all of these flexible areas, you can cut back accordingly, whether it's eating a couple of less meat meals a week or having your hair cut at the hairdresser's only once every 6 months rather than every 6 weeks. Number 2, very famous saying, and it's very true, live within your means. And that means live under what you have coming in, but also don't get into debt. Borrowing money is such a costly way to fund anything. If you are in debt, make big strides as quickly as you can to get out of that debt, even if it's just a couple of extra pounds or a couple of extra dollars at the end of each month that's paying over the minimum payment. The quicker you get out of debt, the quicker you'll be financially free and you can spread your wings and fly into the direction you're longing to be. There is a triad of 3 things you must try and do to pay off the debt as fast as you can, and that is cut back, spend less, and earn more. If you can do one, it's a great step forward towards becoming debt-free faster. If you can do all 3, you're not on an absolute winner to get rid of that debt and that millstone from around your neck. Number 3, have a rainy day fund. Nowadays, it's more commonly called an emergency fund, and it does tend to cover emergencies. But in the 70s and 80s, when I was growing up, there was a lot more softer language around finances. And I quite like a rainy day fund because at times we all have those rainy days. Having a rainy day fund, even if it's just a few £100 or a few $100, could save you from going back into debt if there's an emergency or a rainy day. Number 4, make sure you pay bills on time. Late fees are an awful way to lose money. You get nothing from it. You haven't even had the pleasure of being able to buy anything with it. It's just throwing money away. So automate paying bills if you can do. If you're a really organised person and you know that if you put the due dates for bills to be paid in your calendar or diary and they will be paid, then do that. But if you're not always organised or you're just busy and there's so many other things going on, automate those bill payments. I prefer standing orders to direct debits, but you do whatever works for you. Number 5, when you have spare money, invest it, put it in savings, or add it to your rainy day fund. Make paying yourself a priority bill. Get your savings and investments so you can earn interest set up. We save 10% of all our income in money, minimally, and then we'll budget from the 90% that is left. We are debt free, so that enables us to do that. If we did have debts, we would pay those first. Oh, yes, we'll get rid of those debts as quick as we possibly could, even before paying ourselves. To make some more money within your budget, you can cut back and cut down on your big, flexible expenditures, and that's things like food, leisure, household goods, and energy. I'd never say to anybody, go cold to save cash, but make sure you've got layers on before you put the heating on. Don't put more water in the kettle than you're going to use when you're heating the water. When you're cooking on the stove, make sure your pans have their lids on. Serve a little less meat during the week. And get creative and learn to cook some new and different recipes that use a lot less expensive ingredients. These are all old things you'll have heard before, but they all work, cutting back and cutting down on those flexible expenditures. Number 6, realign your pleasure centre. Move away from consumerism, buying, spending, purchasing, and find more contentment in simple things: walks in nature, cozy movies, exercise, good homemade food and good company, a good book and a hot cup of coffee or tea, spending time with family or friends, a cuddle with a pet. Find contentment in simplicity. I found unsubscribing from many channels and stopping watching TV programs and unfollowing Facebook pages that were of high inspirational living, where people looked like film stars and their homes looked like mansions. It so easily can make you feel discontent with your own life and that what you have isn't enough. There is an old saying that comparison is the root of all misery, and it can often be very true. When you stop comparing and start being grateful for what you do have, you actually will realign your pleasure centre and will find so much contentment in what you do have. And number 7, where focus goes, energy flows. So keep abreast of your incomings and your outgoings. And as we said, at least do a monthly budget, especially with the fluctuation of prices at the moment. Focus on what you can do to make your financial position better, or how to maintain that level of financial comfort you have. Don't focus on the negatives, such as how can I afford to pay these lousy bills? Or how can I stop myself from going broke? The focus should go to how can I make more money? How can I save more money? What basics have I fallen behind on? Am I not doing that I could do that would make my position so much better? Many of you that watch this channel are already amazingly frugal and are fantastic with the basics. If you think I've missed any out, let me know in the comments below. There's so many frugal tips, but it's the basics that keep us financially stable. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and we'll be back very soon with another one. Take care, lovely people, wherever you are.